Strange New World's #1 story revealed a harsh reality about Pike as a Star Trek captain. When Star Trek Strange New Worlds launched, it brought with it the promise of exploring Captain Christopher Pike's unique legacy, a man destined to become one of the most tragic figures in Star Trek history. While Anson Mount's Pike immediately won fans over with his warmth, humor, and kitchen table leadership style, the series has also subtly peeled back the layers of what it truly means to command a starship in Starfleet. Few arcs capture this duality better than the ongoing story of his trusted first officer, Una Chin-Riley, known affectionately as #1. Her struggles, particularly her Season 2 trial and her role as Pike's moral counterweight, reveal a harsh truth. As much as Pike is beloved, his optimism has blind spots. The #1 storyline forces audiences to reckon with the uncomfortable reality that Pike's compassion, while genuine, often collides with the systemic injustices of the Federation he serves. And in those moments, we see not just Pike's strength, but also his greatest limitation as a captain. The Starfleet ideal versus the Federation's reality. Pike embodies Starfleet's ideals. He believes in exploration, diplomacy, and trust in his crew. His interpersonal style stands in sharp contrast to captains like Kirk, who leads through charisma and daring, or Picard, who rules with command presence and intellectual rigor. Pike, instead, builds family. But Una's arc exposes cracks in that vision. Her secret, that she is an Illyrian, part of a genetically engineered species, stands in direct violation of one of the Federation's most rigid laws. The ban on genetic modification stems from the scars of the eugenics wars, but it has long cast a shadow over the Federation's claim to moral superiority. When Una is arrested and put on trial for hiding her heritage, Pike's idealism collides with this uncompromising reality. For Pike, Una is the personification of trust and competence. She's the first officer he would risk anything for, the backbone of the Enterprise, and perhaps the only person whose judgment he values as much as his own. Yet the Federation doesn't care. To them, she's guilty by biology. Suddenly, Pike's unwavering belief in the system, the belief that Starfleet will recognize loyalty and merit, feels naive. Pike's blind spot, personal loyalty. If Pike has a weakness as a captain, it is his reliance on personal loyalty. He believes so deeply in the goodness of people he knows that he sometimes fails to see the larger, systemic failures that entrap them. With Una, this becomes painfully clear. Pike refuses to accept that the Federation could cast her aside. He approaches the problem like he would any personal conflict, talk it through, trust and reason, appeal to better natures. But the legal system she faces isn't designed to listen. It's designed to uphold a fear-driven policy that ignores nuance. In many ways, this is where Pike is revealed to be fundamentally different from captains like Picard or Sisko. Picard would likely have made his stand on principle from the start, transforming Una's case into a platform for challenging Federation law itself. Sisko, hardened by war and politics, would have understood the brutal cost of fighting an institution and prepared for the fallout. Pike, by contrast, simply believes things will work out because he has faith in people. But Una's ordeal shows that faith alone isn't always enough. The trial and what it means for Pike. The Season 2 episode Ad Astra per Aspera is a defining moment for both Una and Pike. The trial, in which Una's lawyer brilliantly reframes her case as one of individual rights and Federation hypocrisy, is triumphant. Pike and the Enterprise crew stand by her, and ultimately, she is allowed to remain in Starfleet. But the victory doesn't erase the truth. Pike's belief system almost cost him his first officer. He didn't win the case. Una did. Her courage, her willingness to stand up and tell the truth, and her advocate's sharp dismantling of Federation law are what saved her, not Pike's quiet appeals to trust. For Pike, this must be a sobering realization. As captain, he has always viewed himself as the shield of his crew. Yet here, he couldn't protect her. His charm, leadership, and even his reputation within Starfleet weren't enough. The system was bigger than him. #1 as Pike's mirror. Una's character has always been more than just Pike's second in command. She's his mirror, cool where he is warm, methodical where he is instinctive. She grounds his optimism with pragmatism, reminding him that leadership isn't just about family dinners and open doors, but about hard choices and accountability. Her genetic modification storyline makes this dynamic explicit. She embodies the truth Pike would rather not face, that Starfleet, despite its rhetoric, can be unjust. The Federation, for all its progressiveness, still harbors prejudice. And sometimes, captains who want to protect their crews can't simply talk their way out of systemic injustice. In this way, Una reveals Pike's biggest limitation. He wants to see the Federation as the shining city on the hill, and he wants to see himself as its best representative. But Una's existence forces him to acknowledge that not everyone gets the same treatment. His privilege, his ability to lead openly, to be trusted without question, doesn't extend to those who fall outside the Federation's comfort zones. The shadow of Pike's fate. Overlaying all of this is Pike's foreknowledge of his own fate. He knows he will one day be gravely injured, trapped in a chair, unable to command. That shadow makes his leadership both warmer and more fragile. He wants to leave behind a legacy of kindness and loyalty because he knows he will not see the end of his own journey. But Una's struggle hints at another harsh reality. Pike's legacy might not be as simple as the captain everyone loved. His failure to truly protect Una from the Federation's bias foreshadows the truth that captains, no matter how noble, cannot control everything. He will leave behind not just memories of warmth, but also unanswered questions about whether he did enough to fight the deeper injustices of his time. A Federation that still needs to evolve. The brilliance of Una's arc in Strange New Worlds lies in how it reframes Pike's story. Her trial isn't just about one officer's right to serve. It's about exposing the Federation's unfinished journey toward its ideals. Genetic modification may be outlawed, but why should someone who embodies the best of Starfleet be punished for something beyond their control? For Pike, this represents a reckoning. His instinct is always to trust Starfleet as the best of humanity's aspirations. But Una's experience proves that even this utopian organization still carries the scars of its past. The harsh truth is that Pike's optimism can sometimes make him complicit because he hesitates to question the very institution he loves. Why this makes Pike a better, but more tragic captain, yet this revelation doesn't diminish Pike as a captain, it deepens him. By showing us his blind spots, Strange New Worlds makes him more human. We see a man who wants desperately to shield his crew, who believes in the best of people, but who struggles when institutions fail. That struggle makes his eventual fate even more poignant. He is not just the perfect captain cut down too soon. He is a man who was still learning, still reconciling his values with the flaws of his world. Una ensures that Pike's story is not just about tragedy, but about growth. By standing up for herself, she forces Pike to confront his limitations. He may not have saved her, but he learns from her, and that learning makes his final legacy all the more bittersweet. Conclusion. Number 1's legacy for Pike. In many ways, Number 1